What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 265 of the LuredUp podcast, where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. LuredUp is part of the Pokemon Professor Network. Today's Saturday, May 6th, 2023. I'm your host, Ken Pescatore. That's Adam Tuttle. Adam, hello.
Hey, trainers. How's it going?
Little bit of a different setup. I'll start the episode with saying we normally record during the week. I had a little bit of a family emergency. When you have kids, Adam, I'm sure you've been there.
Yep.
Trips to the emergency room, while you never want them to happen, are a thing.
Yes. Yep.
So that happened. So yeah, so everything's okay, but sometimes parenting can hit you with like a sidewinder, which it did on recording night last a couple days ago. So we had to postpone. So we're going to record this. I'm recording from home. I'm not in the studio. Our layout.
I'm also recording from home.
You are.
But I always do.
We normally we have different setup. We have a little bit more of an elaborate stream. We're not streaming now, but we're still recording video, so that way we can still have some video content for you. But might look a little different than normal because it's a little bit different recording time, setup, all that fun stuff. But Adam, there is plenty to talk about this week, as we normally do have to talk about. But we'll recap the last week of gameplay. We had Instinctive Hero. This was your time to shine, Adam. I hope it was good for you. Community Day Classic. Last week we had the new raid rotation. Kleavor happened today as well. So that was announced. Hopefully you're able to do some in person. I was not able to do. I did one in person. One. All the others I did remote, and my wallet did not like it one bit. Oh my God. It felt so bad. So we'll talk about that. Fennekin has been announced as our next Community Day Pokemon. I'll be
The
playing
shiny
in Philadelphia.
Freaking-tastic.
It's a good shiny. Sometimes the aesthetics of a Pokemon can actually influence whether or not people are going to go play, right? Like, so if someone thinks it's a crappy shiny, they might sit it out, right? But
like
if it's Slowpoke
shiny, was just a bit more pink.
Yeah, but we had Galarian this last time too. That was
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay, we knew Niantic's revenue was going to take a hit from the remote raid pass changes. We knew this was going to happen. There's no surprises whatsoever. So an article comes out. We'll talk about it in detail. That says Niantic's revenue month over month is down $20 million. It's their lowest point since 2016. I don't know. And they just said it was literally a one-liner in a financial reporting on some website. The Twitter mob ate it up. They were like Tuscan Raiders. They're like, they were like claiming victory over it. They're like, look what we did. We destroyed them, which is like so ironic that they say they love the game, but they want Niantic to fail. It's like, dude, do you understand how dumb this sounds? But they claimed victory over it. I posted on Twitter, like, no, losses were expected. You can't say that people can buy as many raid passes as they want, but now I'm going to impose a limit on spending in the game and not say you're going to lose money because you're limiting the amount of money people can spend on your game. It's not a normal decision for a business. And the irony, and we'll talk about it in detail, the irony is that, and Adam, I'm sure you've seen this, people think Niantic is a very greedy company, meaning they're making these decisions because they want our money. But at the same time, as they're claiming...
Have you seen the clothes in the shop, the poses?
Yeah.
And the t-shirts and the gloves and the shoes and the hats.
Optional aesthetic stuff, yeah.
Exactly. That's the moneymaker right there.
You think?
I'm sure of it. I'm sure.
What?
Listen,
you think someone's spending $200 on a piece of clothing rather than $200 on a remote raid pass?
Yeah.
Maybe the Singaporean grandma.
They want to be looking a little fresh. They would enjoy a different drip.
You might be right. But it's just funny that people claim greed. Niantic makes an adjustment that will prevent you from spending money, the opposite of what a greedy decision would be. And then the same people that were crying greed spun their own claim of Niantic being greedy, meaning, no, by Niantic being greedy, that means we meant Niantic is stupid. And it's like, I don't think that's correct. we'll talk about it. Very, very funny, interesting dynamics happening. And then we're just going to riff on some general topics about the community right now, about the state of social right now. And I want to talk about two very, very interesting concepts that were brought to my attention through the conversations we were having on Twitter about greed and the decisions. And, you know, Glaw from the Way Spotters podcast put up a tweet saying, like, if this, and we've talked about it too, if this game really does not make you happy, if this game brings you stress, brings you anxiety, why not play?
Yeah,
why not just put it down? Adam, you're a perfect example of that. It wasn't bringing you joy. You put it down. You spent your time doing things that brought you joy, hanging out with your son, going to play hockey, going ice skating, whatever it was things that brought you joy.
Yes.
You didn't take your time and say, I have an hour to spend. Let me do something that's going to annoy me. You said, I have an hour to spend.
I can't wait to do this PvP and just get so angry.
But it's just very ironic. We'll dig into it, but not before we talk about our first week or our last week of gameplay. And I guess we could pull up the season. I guess we could talk about it. Let me pull up the seasonal blog here. Let's pull it up here.
I have an executor on my vanilla spawn right now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an exciting vanilla.
Yeah. But I just saw the leaves dangling and I was like, what is that?
So let's talk about Swinub Community Day Classic. How was it for you? Did you get to play?
I did. I'm not gonna lie. I was thoroughly convinced that it was Sunday. I know we do a podcast on it, but I was so convinced. I was so convinced. I remember. I don't know. I feel like I was like, no, I'm working that day, and so I went to play cards. And I was sitting down and I opened the game and it was like 2:15. So I didn't
and you saw Swinubs?
Yeah, I didn't really miss too much. No, but luckily I had the Go Plus, so I was all ready to go. And I was just like, all right. I caught a whole bunch. I was able to catch an extra large and an extra small because I was at a Pokemon TCG Pokestop, a store location. So like there was tons of stops. I was in the middle of downtown. So shout out to Jetpack Comics. It literally it was just they were going off. And then when I had opened it, there was a ton of the golden lures. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get some Gimme Ghoul coins.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna go plus a ton of Swinub. So I did play, although it was stationary, I did play.
Okay. I did play also. We had brutal weather in New Jersey. And we knew that we couldn't play in Red Bank just because it was nasty out. So we're like, all right, we'll go to Bell Works in Homedale. This is like our indoor spot. We did Hoenn tour there. So I was fully believing that people were going to be out on their own because of Triple Dust. The community did not come out for Swinub like they normally do. And yes, it was raining. Yes, we had to call an audible to like move from Red Bank to the indoor place. Yes, it's not as exciting to do that. Where I normally would have 20 people on a community day, we had like 7 people. It was a very small crowd. We still played together. We still hung out. I got there a little late. I had to pick up my son. Like it was a little, but I was very surprised that there was not a lot of people. We've always said it here, like Triple Dust brings everybody out. And it wasn't necessarily the case. And I'm sure
that's weird because by where I was, because I played cards for not that long, so I did like leave and get lunch and stuff, but I did see people playing.
Yeah. Well, but how was your weather? Like I think the
weather was fine. I think it was like cloudy. It was not raining by any means.
Yeah, I think that truly the weather really did screw us because we had to change plans and then it just didn't come out. So
got to bring an umbrella.
Yeah, I'm bummed. When you play at Bell Works, you play indoors. Again, it's not that great compared to like being out and about, but it's still a great place to play. I was bummed the community did not show up like I had hoped. But that's all right. That's all right. We got other things cooking to bring things back to life. But we did have some stuff announced. I guess we could talk about the window that we're in for Spark, which goes up until Monday. That's the Instinctive Hero event. Adam, do you feel very loyal to your team right now? Do you feel like
No, because
you're
it's not complete.
What do you mean it's not complete?
I have earned 5 candies exploring with your buddy.
Oh, okay. You're still working on it.
Yeah, and it just feels weird because like I feel like my adventure sync isn't working because it literally took until today for all my eggs to hatch, which doesn't make any sense because they've been in there for like 2 days. So, and I walk around all day at work, so there's really no reason.
All right. So let's talk about something real quick, and I'll bring this up because on last week's episode, the blog looked a little different than it looks right now on the screen. So it says Larvesta, the Torch Pokemon, and Volcarona, the Sun Pokemon, will make their Pokemon Go debut. Starting with this event, Larvesta will be available to hatch from 2K, 5K, and 10K eggs. Originally, there was a period at the end there. And then on last week's episode, I had clarified with Niantic. I go, well, wait a second. Is Larvesta the only Pokemon in 2, 5, 10? And we got confirmation from Niantic that no, they were going to be in addition to the other Pokemon. You were like, great. It waters down the shiny pool and it waters down the ability to get Larvesta, and you need 400 candy.
Yes.
So we knew that last week, but it wasn't in the blog. We talked about it. We tweeted about it. Okay. Right as this was happening, right as Instinctive Hero was going live, they updated the blog to show what it is on the screen now. It says, if you're lucky, in addition to Larvesta, it's available to hatch from 2, 5, and 10K eggs if you're lucky, meaning it's the rare one in 2, 5, and 10.
Yeah, it's the last option.
Yeah. In addition to Larvesta, the usual Pokemon available 2, 5, and 10 throughout the given season will continue to hatch from eggs. All right. So people don't like egg events. They were bummed about it being an egg event in general. Then they feel that Niantic was screwing them by making this update at the last minute. The problem being, you can't want Niantic to give you better communication and better clarity on things, and then when they do, get upset about it. So are the optics of this bad? Yes, it came out right when the event was going live. People were expecting one thing, and then that thing changes.
Yeah,
So
it feels bad. You know, it stinks.
Yeah, the
I
optics of
understand that it happened, but it does feel a little bad. But
you want them to clarify.
I've come to terms to not expect what's being thrown at me.
Let me ask you this: have you
like
hatched the
Kleavor?
Larvesta?
Like Kleavor. Oh, hey, it's shiny. I do a whole bunch of Kleavors, get no shinies.
I got no freaking shiny either. Did you do you have a Larvesta?
Nope.
Me either. I still have not hatched one. And I've hatched a decent amount of 7Ks, which I hate hatching anyway. 10Ks, and I still don't have it. So it's like 10K has the smaller pool. I'm still not hatching freaking Larvesta. I did hatch, however, a shiny Happiny. So that was very exciting.
Ooh.
So
are you gonna leave it as a Happiny?
I am gonna leave it as a Happiny, 100%. I am.
And then what are you gonna name it?
I don't know. I haven't renamed my Chanseys or Happinis or Happinies. I have not done that.
Yeah, but I feel like this one is like you need to.
Yeah.
Because it's a baby and it's shiny.
All right. I'll come up with something that's
Tiny
not that's
Tiny
funny.
Tushy?
No, I can't
Tiny
go
Tushy.
inappropriate. It's a baby, man.
Okay.
You know what? I'll call
I said Tushy. I said Tushy. That's very baby.
Diaper butt. It's going to be called diaper butt. You know, like when
Okay.
a baby runs around and they have a giant soggy ass diaper and they got this giant diaper butt. So yeah,
Yep.
that Happiny will be diaper butt. But Elekid wearing the wrist guard for Instinct was the prize. Mine was decent. Not shiny though. Adam, you haven't got yours yet.
No.
There was field research. I did get a couple Magneton. Again, a little anticlimactic. No shiny chance. If there was a shiny chance, I would have felt better about getting a couple Magneton out of it.
For sure.
At least it's a shiny chance. And I
just recently hatched 2 shiny, or no, I hatched 2 Chimechos, 2 Snorlax, and 2 Chanseys. I wanted to say shiny, but it was just Chansey.
Wow. All right. Well, I mean, that's good. That's good for Candy too, especially with the double hatch. So, all right. Well, that's good. But Adam, it's almost time for Instinct to go away.
No, we got to stay here. We got to dab a little bit more.
We talked about it last week. How Mystic was one day, but had an awesome Pokemon with the Lapras. Instinct event one day, or more time, but Elekid not so exciting. Okay,
but then
there's
Larvesta, but again,
but
not
Larvesta,
so exciting.
not a little bit weird. And then we had on the calendar at the time of recording last week the Valor event, the Valorous Hero, and we finally have all the details. Now it's just not a blurb on the infographic. We actually know
it's
his
a
trainers.
Ponyta. They heard me. They were like, "Why is Adam so upset about Ponyta on Community Day?" It was just the precursor.
Yeah, I like this Ponyta. It looks cool. It says, when a friend needs a hero, will you rise to the occasion? Candela may be a strong trainer, but the Team Valor leader could use some research support. Get ready to enjoy an all-new focused on powering up and battling Pokemon, A Valorous Hero. Mega Pinsir will make its debut. We knew about that coming, but check it out. May 11th through May 17th, so we got some time here. Mega Pinsir debut, double catch Candy, and double chance at, or increased chance of it is double. It says twice a chance to train Candy XL. And then we have a pretty awesome raid lineup here, and this is a little bit different.
Very excited for this.
Yeah, Hisuian Growlithe, Galarian Ponyta, and Hoot in 1-stars. I will absolutely raid Hisuian Growlithe and Galarian Ponyta. That's really good. 1-stars.
I'll do them all.
They're perfect in-person raids.
Yes.
Like, most people, when they consider remote raiding, they want to remote raid legendaries. It feels a little worse when you remote raid a 1-star. You know what I mean?
Or a 3-star Kleavor.
Yeah. So these are good. Do it yourself. Pull the car over. Do the freaking raid. Use your free pass.
Walk to the gym.
The 3-stars also really good. Galarian Stunfisk, Druddigon. Adam, you're going to get it this time. I have faith. Hisuian Braviary, Hisuian Avalugg. This is a great 3-star lineup. Usually these are the weakest.
It is great.
I like.
Although all I want is the Druddigon.
That's fine. That's fine.
I have everything else shiny. I just need the Druddigon.
Then we have Tapu Fini up top, a new Pokemon as a shiny. So that's good. This is a very good raid week. And then you have the Mega Pinsir. But we'll also have a special research story that'll, of course, get you the Ponyta with the Candela themed accessory, which is this little ascot around its neck. And there will be timed research, field research, where you can get non-costume Ponyta. But it can be shiny. Ponyta is one of the most awesome shinies. I love that blue. It's super cool. Super
hot flames.
Cool. Unless the Pokemon trusts you, then you can attach your crotch to the fire and it won't hurt. Remember that when Ash had to ride on the Rapidash?
Yeah,
like, it's gonna burn your crotch. Then didn't, because it trusted it. Trusted him.
That was a solid moment in the anime.
Yeah, well, that was when Ash was starting to get his credibility up with the Pokemon. Like, Pokemon were starting to take
Laramie Ranch.
Laramie Ranch. Wow, amazing. All right, let's move on, Adam. And I guess this is today. We would have been talking about this in, coming up in the weekend, but since we're recording this today, we've got the Kleavor Raid Day, which is still happening right now for us on the East Coast. We're sacrificing our raid day time for recording because this is what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, come on. I could be outside raiding right now.
We could be.
But I already did some. I have friends that I've added from Japan, and they sent me raids last night. I had friends in the UK. Shout out to Milo and Ian from the Incense podcast. They sent me several Kleavor raids. Appreciate it. And then I did some today. I did 2 in person.
Okay, that's good. That's good. It's a good looking Pokemon. I don't know if it's any good. I saw some of the PvP peeps saying that it was not so good, but it is what it is. Kleavor, the Axe Pokemon, make its Pokemon Go debut in raids. In addition, you might encounter a shiny one. They don't do this often. First time a Pokemon comes out, it could be shiny. So this is kind of a big deal.
Didn't they do that with Hisuian Braviary?
They did that with Hisuian Braviary and Avalugg.
Yeah, so I think it's just with the Hisuian stuff.
Oh, maybe that's what they're doing. But very, very cool. But it's happened today from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Special raid day, up to 5 free passes in person. So if you're doing in-person raids, make sure you're spinning the photo discs. Increased chance of shiny Kleavor. I did 12. 10 remotes and 2 in person. Or no, 11. 1 in person, 10 remotes. So I did 11. No shinies.
I did 17.
Whoa.
And the highest CP I got was 1788.
So the first one I did, which was a New Zealand one last night for me, was a 98, 15, 14, 15, non-shiny. But
yeah, that's mine. Or well, it's 15, 13, 15. So
but definitely a good
96.
looking Pokemon. I was originally planning on going to Red Bank to meet up with the group to do the raids at 11 o'clock. I had shit going on today. We were supposed to be recording with some guests doing a back-to-back thing. We won't even announce it right now. But scheduling snafus happened. So we decided to just record LuredUp right now. But we had we were willing to like forego our raid day in order to record. But I was like, I could raid from 11 to 12. And I didn't end up going. And I was getting remote raid invites from Scipio, one of our community members from Red Bank. And there was like 12 people in the raid. I was like, oh man, the people are out. So very promising to see that there was a good presence on the ground in my community at Red Bank, even though I was not there, unfortunately.
Okay, I have a question. And
Okay.
I don't know if this is something that just happened or if it's been happening and I just haven't played the game enough to actually notice.
Okay.
When you see the raids now, without doing anything else, like if you were just scrolling and looking at the map, you can see people in the gym. And I'm like, whoa, the best quality of life update ever.
Yep.
So it was so cool to see players in the gyms already. And I was like, there's 2 people in there. I'm going in.
Yeah, it shows like a little body icon, like how many people are in the raid, and you don't have to click into it. Like you said, that's the best part. That started rolling out last week. It's phenomenal. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you know how many trainers it takes to take out a Pokemon. So like Kleavor is a pretty easy duo. So it's like if you see one person in there, you're like, yeah, we're good. You know what I mean? You could join in and take it down. So it's a very, very good quality of life update. Again, one that people have wanted, and it just without notice just started rolling out. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Yep, that was
Kudos
really cool.
to Niantic for doing that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a solid one. I definitely think that was good. If they would just give us a ready up button, that would greatly improve the raid experience for sure. All right, let's move on.
Well, not for the people that are a ways away from the gym. Oh, there's one person in, and then all of a sudden there's nobody in there. Uh-oh.
You just missed it. Fennekin, our next Community Day Pokemon. We knew this was happening. We knew Community Day was happening. We didn't know what the Pokemon is. It was Fennekin. Like Adam was saying at the top of the show, it's a really good shiny. This one is on a Sunday, Adam. Sunday, May 21st, 2023, 2 to 5 p.m. local time. We're excited to announce Fennekin, the Fox Pokemon, will be featured during May Community Day. And this is actually pretty cool because there's added stuff going on here, mainly that Delphox can learn 2 moves, which is really cool. And they've previously done this a bit too, where they would allow you to also TM into a different move. And it says, for Delphox, evolve Braxian during the event and up to 5 hours after to get a Delphox that knows the charge attack Blast Burn. We all know Blast Burn from Charizard and all that. Like, Blast Burn is a fantastic move. You want this move. You can get it if you evolve during the event or 5 hours after. It also says, while Braxian evolved into Delphox during the event will know Blast Burn, starting at the beginning of the event, Delphox will be able to learn the charged attack Mystical Fire. Delphox will still be able to learn Mystical Fire after the conclusion of the event. So you can, you can also TM into this post-event where you couldn't get Blast Burn, like post-event and 5 hours after or whatever. Blast Burn is not a normal move. It goes into the elite TM pool. You could still catch or evolve into a Delphox, and you could learn Mystical Fire even post event, which is cool. So two moves, which is really neat. And we know Blast Burn has super high output, 110 power for both gyms and raids. But if you look at Mystical Fire in trainer battles, 60 power and decreases your
you know which one I'm going with.
Yeah, that one probably. A Community Day special research story, Fur and Flames. Love it. Absolutely awesome. Give me the puns. $1, just get it.
I would have
Event
said
bonus.
Fennekin, no swiping.
So we had triple Stardust for Swinub. We once again have triple Stardust for Fennekin. They're pulling out all the stops, Adam. Good Pokemon, good shiny.
Yeah, but only they had 2 times catch candy. That's
They
really what's gonna
do.
get to me. Oh, that's what they have to.
It
Oh man,
stacks, Adam. We've got multiple bonuses: triple dust, double catch candy, 2 times chance to levels 31 and up to get a Candy XL. As usual, 3-hour lures and incense snapshot. Additional special trades cost 50% less. All right. Bonus raids are also coming back. After a 3-hour community day event ends, trainers will be able to take on unique 4-star raid battles. Claiming victory in one of these raids cause more Fennekin to appear around the gym that hosted the raid for 30 minutes, and those 4-star will be Braxian.
Ooh,
If
I
you're
didn't see
working
that
on
coming.
if you're working on that like unique raid battle medal, just do one Braxian just to get
And it
a
keeps
little
the
tally mark.
community day going.
It keeps the community day going for 30 minutes, same rate when
This
they
is
spawn
nice.
afterwards.
This is nice for my work because if we do it after the event's over, then it like continues the day. So it is really
Sure.
nice.
No, it's huge. Like, especially if you go out to eat, you know what I mean? Like, and you eat somewhere with your group that has a gym there. It's like, oh shit, all of a sudden now there's still spawns. It's still going on. People are still catching shinies. It's a great thing. So, all right, Adam, that has been almost 30 minutes. So what we'll do here is take a break. When we come back, we're going to dig into some interesting topics. We're going to talk about Niantic financials. We're going to talk about sunk cost fallacy. We're going to talk about switching costs. These are some psychological things that are kind of coming up in the community right now, because we have a lot of talk about people just being unhappy or wanting to put the game down and can't. Are we addicted? We talked about all this before.
Yep, for sure.
We'll definitely dig into it, but we'll do that when we come back from the break. So, yeah, we'll be back right after this. And we are back from our break.
We're back from our break.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate it. I needed to take care of a Hornet, and I also got some orange juice to quench my thirst.
How you feeling, by the way, buddy? You sound a little better than last week.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I would still have like phlegm, but I don't feel sick. I don't have anything like that. I feel
it's just
fine.
enough to annoy you.
Yeah, it's just enough to where I
It's the
start
worst.
talking, and then it's like there. It's like in the back of my throat, like next to my nose. And I'm like, this is weird. I need to just go, you know.
I got you. Well, let's get into a little housekeeping before we the back half of the show. This podcast is powered by Patreon, and you can check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. That $1 will support all the shows on the network and get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. And all patrons are eligible to participate in our monthly TCG Live and Pokemon Go prize tournaments. Registrations in the Discord. We hope to see you there. Also, huge thanks to our gym leaders, Absolutely Ryan, Austin Zard, Bean and Cheese, DJ Wonderbread, GK, Halda Counselor, Sue Jamal, Mythical Hitch, and Big Zal Minus. Our newest patron of the week, Russell. Thank you so much for signing on with the show. Special thanks to our executive producer, Paul Bhatt, as well as other executive producers on the network, Tish Smith, Kate DeCons, and Stinky Ash. So speaking of Paul Bhatt, so get this. Listen to this. This is pretty funny. So our old chat, we had an old chat from years ago of like the Long Branch community leaders that we were planning a surprise party for one of the main community members, right? So there was a random Facebook chat that we were all in. Haven't touched this chat, I don't know, in 3 years. And someone who was in the chat, their Facebook account got hacked. And a text pops up, a message pops up in this random dead chat saying like, hey, look who died. And it's a link. Like it looks like total spam. You know what I mean? So everyone's like, don't click the link. It looks terrible. But it resurrected this old chat with Paul Bhatt in it, who was the Long Branch community leader. The Freehold community leader, Scott, was in there. We've got people from the Red Bank group in there.
All right.
The chat is popping off again. It resurrected.
That's epic.
So we're all going back and forth, making fun of each other, making jokes, doing all this shit. And then Paul Bhatt goes, so now that we're all here, food ? And it was like,
oh, that's awesome.
So all of a sudden we start talking about going out to eat. We're arguing over where to go. And it comes up. The Long Branch group, my core group, was called Raiders of the Lost Carp. That was like our group, our original raid group back in the day.
I remember that.
So, and we would hold these group barbecues where we would rent a promenade out. Everyone would bring in food. We'd grill. It was amazing. Cornhole games. It was awesome. Big family environment. We haven't done one of those in years.
Yeah,
so,
because there was a pandemic in the middle of
the pandemic. Also, people grow apart. Communities fell apart during the pandemic.
Yep.
It wasn't there. I'm excited to say that within 24 to 48 hours of this chat reemerging and us talking, we are planning a new Carp Day to bring everybody back together. This will be the catalyst to make things happen in New Jersey. It's happening. The Jersey Shore group is coming back. West Long Branch, Asbury Park, Neptune, Ocean Grove, Freehold, Howell, Manasquan, Red Bank, Homedale. It's amazing. We're making it happen.
Small Magikarp, large Magikarp.
We're being the change, Adam. We are being the change we want to see in this community.
You got to.
I'm very, very excited about it. And not as excited, however, as some on Twitter this past week who got really big boners about this article that comes out, and I'm going to pull it up on screen. So this article is from mobilegamer.biz, and they're just reporting on gaming revenue across the board of what mobile games are producing. They have Honor of Kings at the top. This game has been dominating for so long. Genshin Impact, Candy Crush is still up there, making $84 million a month. But in the top 10, you do not see Pokemon Go. So as you scroll down a little further, start talking about the games, what they do. Hey, there's Pokemon Go. And if you look at the text that Pokemon Go, it says Pokemon Go took a big hit in April. From February's high of 58 million, it was down in March to 42 million. So this is a $16 million or a $15.2 million drop off. And then again in April to 34.7. So 58 in February, 34.7 in April, the lowest monthly total since February 2018, over 5 years ago. All right, Adam, so you see how short this is, right? You see this one line?
Yep.
Okay. So what this turned into was about 100 articles across the gaming industry and across the Pokemon Go media spectrum that were writing complete articles based on this one line going, oh my God, look at what's happening to Pokemon Go. Is this the raiders? Is this the remote raid changes? Like what is it? And people were claiming victory. They were proud. They were batting their chests and saying, like, this was the work of us. We've won. Look what we've done to Pokemon.
Now, all those people that are saying that, how many Kleavors did you remote today?
Probably 10.
Because I'm saying it hurt every time that I bought remote raid passes.
Oh, you know what?
But I did.
Let me talk about that. I agree with you 100%. It hurt. It hurt bad. It hurt real bad because it was not.
Yeah,
it did not feel good.
And so I'll say I did 15 remote raids, and
I
did 5 last night.
Oh, okay.
And then I did 10 today. I didn't realize I did 10 already. You got the
as
I was sitting eating lunch at a raid. It was like, you can't go to any more. You've reached your limit. And I was like, no, I haven't seen it in an entire month. It is May 6th today.
Oh, it's been a month.
It's been exactly a month.
So this is the first time you hit the cap.
First time I've hit it.
And it's an increased cap. So
it's an increased cap. So it's even like, probably should have done 20. 30.
Interesting. But like I said, these numbers come out. Everyone's losing their mind. I of course piss off Twitter, right? Because I'm like saying like, guys, you can't
I think that's
say
what you're best known for.
sure, of course. Well, on Twitter I am, but you can't say you love this game and want to play this game and celebrate news like this. It's completely hypocritical. Like I understand like wanting to.
Well, I can celebrate it because I'm not spending money in the game right now because I have coins built up. So because I haven't been spending coins. So this was a day that I was like, okay, but I still have coins in the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It feels good to not have spent money
Well, that
and then
feels
having
good, but you're not feeling good that Niantic's doing bad, right? You're not like we stuck it to them. So that's the difference.
No, but
that's
it does feel like, because again, at the end of the day, if you want to speak with your wallet.
Of course. I said that from the beginning. That's the best way to communicate. Like that's what they take seriously. So the numbers come out, everyone's claiming victory. And I put up a tweet. I guess I could pull it up on screen. Give me a millisecond.
Yeah, you could pull it up if you wanted to.
I do. Of course I do. I think it's hilarious. So let's find it. I don't have to scroll back too far. Okay. I'll put it up on the screen now. So I put up a tweet that says Niantic executives, when they see people claiming victory over their decline in revenue, even though this was a predictable result and cost of doing business in order to get the game back on track to its original trajectory and long-term plan. They knew this was going to happen.
This is true. They did know.
Maybe not to the effect of $20 million or whatever the hell these crazy numbers are claiming, but they knew it was going to happen.
But that's because people said, you know what? This game is doing more damage to my mental than I'd like, and walked away. And some people actually walked away. That's right. What that can.
But even spenders were limited.
Exactly.
And I praise the people that said, hey, I opposed what's going on. I'll hold off on spending. I'll go to free to play now, or I'll play less, or I won't play at all, because that's the best way to do it. They want your time and they want your money. So if you limit your time or limit your money, that's exactly how you can make an impact without having to say, F you, Niantic.
Right.
So I put up this tweet. I have a GIF on there of this guy going, oh, I'm pretending to be shocked. Like, how could this possibly happen? Because clearly we knew that this was going to happen. So everyone jumped down my throat going, how dare you make fun of this? People are going to lose their jobs. Now, all of a sudden, they're concerned about Niantic employees.
No,
the same people that are like
that they were calling out and sending death threats to. Come on, no.
That's the fun of it, because now all of a sudden, I know, but now all of a sudden they're into it. Now all of a sudden they have those concerns. It's like
there's actual people.
It's gaslighting, dude. It's gaslighting.
My gosh.
It's like they're really trying to like play both sides of the fence.
You're burning the candles at both ends. Okay.
So then remember Eurogamer was the one that interviewed Ed Wu in the beginning that caused the whole hoopla.
Yes.
So about a day after these revenue numbers and set the internet ablaze, Eurogamer puts out another article that says Pokemon Go developer dismisses incorrect report that claimed revenue down to lowest since 2018. 2023 income is up year on year. Saying by Tom Phillips, the editor-in-chief. So maybe that Ed Wu reached out, maybe a person from the news team or PR team. It says the claim by third-party app store analytics firm AppMagic, initially reported by mobilegamer.biz. That's the article we were looking at here, mobilegamer.biz. Says suggested Pokemon Go's revenue had taken a big hit last month to its lowest monthly total since February 18, over 5 years ago. Responding to Eurogamer today, Niantic said that the estimate was wrong and that Pokemon Go's 2023 revenue to date was up on the same period in 2022. The representative said, "We generally don't comment on third-party estimates of our revenue as they often are incorrect," which is the case here. A Niantic spokesperson said, "Our revenue so far in 2023 is up on the last year." Sorry, I paraphrased that a little bit because I mixed up the quote. This statement does not counter the end quote. This statement does not counter the claim that April's App Store revenue was down month to month, something Niantic suggested was simply business as usual. This article came out after my tweet. And in my tweet, I had said that this is the cost of doing business. And then here they say, yeah, simply business as usual. As for reports which have linked the report to Niantic's April remote raid changes, the company countered to say it had seen a successful increase in in-person raiding instead. So that's a little bit of Niantic PR spin. They're asked about the remote raid changes, and the response is, we're seeing an uptick of in-person. So
because they have to.
Right. And
like,
they also don't want to,
raid.
but and they don't want to correlate this negativity to that. They want to put a positive spin on it. Sure. It says, "We don't focus on month-to-month trends because they fluctuate based on major live events," Niantic continued. "This year's changes have already increased in-person rating, and we're excited to introduce exciting new features over the coming months." And then it goes on to talk about the controversial thing with things changing, all that good stuff. It says, and here's an interesting thing. "While Niantic's statement today discusses Pokemon Go's 2023 revenue as a whole, including several months before the remote raid changes took effect, the developer previously told Eurogamer it expects its income from the game to remain stable. In an interview with Eurogamer tied alongside the changes being announced, Pokemon Go veteran Ed Wu told me that Niantic had done the sums and expected the changes were not going to create short-term revenue impact," meaning the increase in remote raid cost would counter the revenue lost from people doing less remote raids. I don't think that's the case at all. I think they're still losing money compared to where they are. That's why they're down. However, on the year-to-year,
I think they've made so much that it's okay for them to get on a stable, like, consistent, hey, as long as we make this much, we won't lose anything.
Right. And that's a ballsy move for a business to say, hey, we're okay making this much money because we're turning the faucet off for people. They can't spend if they don't want to. So they're down month. They're not refuting they're down month to month. They are saying their year to year is up, and their year is up over last year to date. So this time last year they're up, and year to date they're up, but they're not refuting that they're down month to month. A little confusing, but in Ed Wu's original article, he said that he thought it was going to remain stable and that it wouldn't have a short-term impact. Now, what does that mean, short-term impact? Does that mean 1 month? Does that mean 6 months? Because what I'm thinking is we're going to start to see things ramp up again with people spending as we get closer to GoFest, as we get
Kleavor Day,
Kleavor Day, as we get into the Safari Zone windows. People will buy remote raid passes at $1.95. We both did, like fools, spending our hard-earned money on digital creatures. And it will balance things out. It will stabilize. It'll rebound because that's the trends. So there's a lot to unpack here of why people could want Niantic to fail and lose money, but at the same time say, I want to play this game. And then I guess we could talk about Glaw's tweet that had said, like, if this game is not bringing you joy, why do you continue to play? And we've been beating this drum for a long time. It's like, and I've said it myself, like, do anything else.
I know you've been standing on that anthill for a while.
Like, if you sat in the corner and did nothing, it still wouldn't upset you as much as playing this game. So why not do nothing then?
This is true.
So it brought up a lot of good topics. And what it brought up again was we're all addicted, right? We talked about gaming addiction. So I have an interesting
but since I stepped
tangent
away
here. Go ahead.
It's kind of like I'm looking at the game with new eyes. I'm not letting it take as much time away from where I am or what I'm doing. like today, we were waiting in line. I knew that I could just sit there and play and like figure out everything right there and then and there, and then put it away. And I was there. I was present. And the only
That
time I took it out was like to check to see if my Go Plus was still connected.
right. Once an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I don't know. I'm pushing the button. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
So here's an interesting thing that happened to me, and then we'll talk about these two concepts I want to get into. So I log into the game the other day. This is after going back and forth with the world on Twitter. Everybody going nuts. We had some good conversations, but people were crazy, of course. I go to log in. Professor Willow pops up over a white screen. It says, "Hey, trainer, we've deemed that your nickname, meaning my in-game name, is not appropriate. Please update your nickname." And it made my in-game name T125222, a bunch of random numbers. How could this be? My username is LuredUp.com. Could it be the word lure? Maybe not, because lure is an item in the game. Could it be that I have the .com, like the talk slut thing at the end? Like, could it be that? Maybe.
Well, that doesn't make sense because other people have YT for YouTube.
We don't know. We didn't know why this happened. So I bring it up in my internal circles, and I finally come like, holy shit. What if the Twitter mob
They got you.
They did. They did. So upon digging into this and upon working very closely with Niantic support, shout out to Niantic support, they mass reported LuredUp.com as a Pokemon Go cheating site. They said, this is an offensive name because they're promoting cheating within Pokemon Go. Now, is this process a human monitored process?
Probably not.
Yeah, I think it is. But wouldn't that tell me they would type in LuredUp.com and realize that it's not a cheating site?
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was I couldn't get into the game. So I reach out to my Niantic peeps. And I'm like, should I change my name and just wait for you guys to fix this? Or should I hold off on doing anything and let it ride? They're like, hold off and let it ride. So during that 14-hour period, I was Pigo void. I had no Pokemon Go in my life.
How did that make you feel?
Let me tell you how it made me feel, Adam. It made me feel a certain fucking kind of way because I was not ready for this. I woke up in the morning. I couldn't log in. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose all my streaks. I'm so mad. I drive into work. I couldn't log in on my phone holder. I was like, oh man. I get to my desk at work. I couldn't turn it on. I go, oh, what am I going to do? By about lunchtime, I was like, I'm starting to feel a little liberated. And then I thought of you. Pause. I was like, this is what Adam was talking about when he started to realize that you don't need to feed the compulsion. We have the compulsion. I'm on the toilet, got to put the phone in front of me. I'm eating breakfast. I'm done with that bite. Let me pull the phone up. I have a minute between it. Let me pull the phone up. Yeah. All that stuff. And before I knew it, I was out of the compulsive loop. Did I still want to play? Yes. But I at least wasn't physically grasping for the phone, which, like, if you're trying to quit cigarettes, right? You have that oral fixation. It's the part of holding the cigarette and smoking. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of the quitting process is difficult.
Yeah, I smoked for 1 year.
Did you really?
Yeah, at the age of 23.
Really?
It's a long. I mean, it's not really that long of a story. Basically, I started, and then I got e-cigarettes because I was like, "Oh, sweet, electronic
These are good
ones."
for me.
Well, it was like I thought I was cool getting like the electronic ones,
right?
And back then, when those first came out, there was nothing. No cars had USB, nothing like that. It was you had to go to a computer to plug this thing in. And so I just got so fed up. I was like, it's not working. I just got angry and I threw it and it landed underneath my car seat. Forgot about it. I like quit kind of cold turkey, but and I will say sometimes you just get that feeling.
Sure.
I don't know how to explain it. It'll be just like I'll be at work and I'm just and it just you just feel it. So it's weird, and I understand that there's an addiction behind that. But I haven't and still don't. But it's just one of those, like, every once in a while, it's like it just hits, and I'm like, "Whoa, where did that come from?" I was like eating spaghetti.
Yeah. But when we talk about being addicted to gaming and addicted to Pokemon Go specifically, we have the compulsion of wanting to catch and wanting to play and wanting to grind. And then we also have that security blanket of having the phone and holding the phone and looking at the phone. Like, that's the compulsion. That's the thing that like ruins relationships.
Yeah.
Interferes with work, interferes with family time, because your focus is on your device, the physical act of holding your device. So it took me about half a day to be able to liberate myself a little bit from the physical act of holding the phone. I knew there was no sense of me opening the game and going in.
Yeah.
Because it was futile. There was no point in doing it. So I started to feel liberated, and I'm like, oh my God, I had the most productive day at work. I did.
It is weird how that works.
I did so much work.
Listen, I woke up yesterday. I woke up at 5 a.m. and I got so much stuff done.
It's the best, right?
It was insane. It was like before the sun came up, before everybody else was up.
So then I'm like, I end up like, this is something that I encourage everyone listening right now to do. And if you're looking at the video, I'm going to do this. I want you to hold your finger up, your pinky. Look at the dent in my pinky. Do you see that dent I have in my pinky right here? I have a dent in my pinky. You know what that's from? It's from the phone sitting on my pinky. Like, truly, this is like exactly where the phone sits, and I take the phone away and there's a giant dent in my pinky. If you have a dent in your pinky, let me know. Let us know. Do you have you see that little divot? You see the divot?
Yeah.
We all have it. You know how, like, when you write from grammar school, you write and you get the callus on your finger, like the bump there? We all have a divot in our freaking
I think future generations, we're going to have a bigger or thinner,
bigger pinky. Oh, we're going to
bigger
evolve
pinky, or one that like just grows a little bit longer and can grab the whole phone.
Our hand turns into a ring that slides into the back of the phone. But so I break the physical compulsion, and I'm starting to get antsy because I really have the compulsion. I didn't want to lose my weekly streaks. I would have been really bummed if I was on like one of those gated 20-day in a row tasks. You know what I mean?
You mean like me? Yeah, and then it goes over to 1201 and I'm like, no. And it's like day 1 of feeding your buddy. No.
Yeah.
I'm literally on day like 2 now because of that.
I would have been so mad. But luckily I was through all that. But I really had this mental compulsion, like, oh my God, I just want to play. It was very difficult. So in the comments,
any other game that could use the same ability?
I did. Dude,
like NBA All World,
Peridot. Let me tell you, I played a lot of Ingress yesterday. I played a lot of Ingress yesterday. I did. I was like making fields. I was like, oh shit, I got a lot of keys. I was making these huge fields like right in my backyard. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna start playing Ingress again. So we start talking about it on Twitter, and AR-tographer, Pokemon AR-tographer from Hawaii, brought up this great point. He's like, for me, it's sunk cost fallacy. And I've heard that term before, but it was worth digging into. So I'm going to scroll to this here, and I'm going to pull this up on screen. And this is from Investopedia.com. It says sunk cost fallacy is the improper mindset of a company or individual may have when working through a decision. The fallacy is based on the premise that committing to the current plan is justified because resources have already been committed. This mistake may result in improper long-term strategic planning decisions based on short-term committed costs. Very professional way of saying it. So what the sunk cost fallacy is in regards to Pokemon Go is we're saying like, well, why don't you just put the game down? And it's the feeling to respond and defend hanging on to the game because, dude, I'm a day one player. I've been playing since 2016. I've played every single day. I've put so much into this. Why would I quit? I've put so much into it. Even if the present and
Well, if
going
it's making you
forward,
unhappy, you
right,
should.
you should. But the difficulty is based on sunk cost. A lot of people, I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars investing into this game. Why would I quit? So you have this sunk cost fallacy of believing that it's justified to hold on because of the past and not leave because of the present to future. Very interesting psychological concept. So when you mix the psychology of gaming addiction, the biological addiction of fixating on your phone and your screen, picking it up whenever you have a 10-second gap in whatever you're doing. Like I could be making breakfast, I'm stirring the pot, and I have to wait a minute before I stir it again. I'm holding the phone in that minute. Psychological, biological, mental addiction, because now you're defending and justifying a reason to stick around in a potentially a toxic environment that you're of your own creation because you're angry at the game, you're angry at the developer, you want the developer to fail, but you stick around because you've invested time, effort, and money. Next concept I'll move over to. And I knew about this, but I didn't ever really think about it in the context of Pokemon Go. And that is something called switching cost. And again, Investopedia.com. What are switching costs? Switching costs are the costs that a consumer incurs as a result of changing brands, suppliers, or products. Although most prevalent switching costs are monetary in nature, there are also psychological, effort-based, and time-based switching costs.
Mm-hmm.
So now what we're doing is we're talking about
playing Battlegrounds and then having to get good at it and spending money so you can get different skins and time invested. And
so not only do you need to move away from one game that you've committed time, effort, energy, and money to, but you're just going to have to switch to something new that you will once again have to devote time, money, and energy to. It's a lot of weight that would reinforce the addiction and the willingness to stay in an environment that isn't healthy. Meaning, I don't want to go because I've invested so much. I don't want to go because I don't want to go anywhere else. I don't want to go because I don't want to have to learn something new. I don't want to go because I don't want to invest in something new. So I'll just stay here, even though staying here isn't making me happy and isn't treating me well. I'll stick around. And then what happens? Those become the scorned players. Those become the angry voices on Twitter, where they probably should have just chilled out. They probably just should have just put the game down, but they didn't. So what does that mean? It means we might have a scenario where people have to readdress and reassess their relationship with the game at large and their addiction to the game. Because we have to talk about addiction again, man. We've been there so many times on this show over the years, and it's like I will be the absolute first person to say, like, I am freaking dependent on this game from a physical, mental, and emotional thing. Like I
know. And so when I stopped, I picked up an old game that literally I'm pretty sure nobody plays, that it just gave me that little hit of something to progress and or do that had the same feelings. and then I could quickly get out of it because I had no attachment to it.
Yep.
And it felt real good. It felt
Right.
real good. And
So
this is like how it is with Pokemon Go right now, is that I'm jumping in, I'm doing not the bare minimum. I am playing, but I understand that I shouldn't stay too long. Or else it affects everything around me.
Interesting.
So,
Well, dude, that's a very healthy way to look at it. Like,
yes.
hey, I can get in and get out, and I don't need to stay because I need to prioritize other things.
Yeah, like it's one of those I come to the conclusion that I don't need to have it up 24/7, because it's like I can have the Go Plus, I cannot like that. I think part of it is having that secondary device that allows me to catch Pokemon and kind of not have to hold my phone. I don't have to do anything like that. I'm hitting a button, good to go.
Your eyes are so important when it comes to your focus. So if you're out to dinner with your family, if you're at work and your eyes are on your phone, even if your mind is somewhere else and you're just looking at the phone, the person that you're with will 100% think you're checked out because they think you're just in your phone, you're in your own world. So I've come to this conclusion of how I'm personally combating this. And how I'm personally combating this is literally fighting myself to say no. Kleavor Raid Day is the perfect example of this. We've had shitty weather in New Jersey in my area for like a week and a half straight. Today is a beautiful day. My girlfriend lives down the street, right? I started dating this new girl, really enjoying my time with her. She's a gamer, not a Pokemon person. She's cool with me playing Pokemon Go, but I'm using this opportunity.
Well, that's like one of those, here's the bargaining, like this is on the table, like this has to happen or this can't happen.
So I already put it out there like, yes, I'm addicted, just be ready. But I'm also telling myself I need to proactively find opportunities for me to bargain with myself to say I can handle the situation one of two ways. I can be with her and have the game open, which is probably not fair. I cannot be with her and play the game and be totally selfish. Or I can devote my time to her and put the game away, have a good time for myself, have a good time for her. And I've been choosing that, and it's been winning. And from a content perspective, it makes me more scheduled and focused because I know that when I do want to play or I do want to work on the brand, it's dedicated time that I schedule in and not just encompassing of my entire schedule. So while I may it's like the person that drinks booze like all day long, taking sip, 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 versus the dude who's like funneling beers, right? Instead of like cruising along and just keeping the game open all day while I'm with other people, I'm saying, no, I'm not going to play at all.
I'm just going to funnel it.
But then when I'm not with them, it's like, yeah, I'm shotgunning the game. I'm like, give it to me. Kleavor Raid Day. It's the weekend. I have off today. We have this amazing coffee shop down the street. So I wake up this morning.
Wait, which one?
It's called Rook. It's not Rook. I'm going to this fancier pants place called Offshore. That's in Long Branch. That's like two coffees and a donut.
Can you onshore me?
2 coffees and a donut. How much you think it cost? 2 coffees and a donut.
$18.95.
It was $19, dude. It was $19.
Hey, that's really close. I guess that.
Granted, they both had oat milk, which was $1 extra each.
Granted, it was 5 cents different. I just want to point that out.
Dude, the donut was $4.50. So I bring her the coffee in the morning because I'm a nice guy. That's what I do. I bring her coffee in the morning and a donut. And she's like, "Oh my God, it's so nice out. Like, do you want to go for a walk?" And I'm like, "Oh no, babe, I'm meeting the nerds in Red Bank at 11." And that's exactly what I said. And she goes, "Oh shit, that's right." And I saw it on her face. The not like, oh, I can't believe you're going to go do that, but oh, I really wanted to spend time with you. That's something I probably should not take for granted, right?
No,
As a human.
Yes.
So I was like, you know what? Let's go for a walk. I texted the crew. I said, hey, I'm not going to make it. Send me remotes. So we hang out for a little while. We have our coffee. She has her donut. We went to the Arboretum. We took a nice walk through the trees. We took a walk through this disc golf course, which I will be going back to submit 18 Pokestops in this one area that I've never been in.
Awesome.
And I didn't have the game out. While we were driving there, this is what I told her. I go, while we were driving over to the Arboretum, I go, all right, I'm just going to squeeze in these remote raids on the way. So it's not really taking away from our walking experience. She was cracking up. That's how I got my remotes in.
So you heard it here first, folks. Ken was okay with doing a couple raids and not a whole bunch.
I still got my 10 remotes in, and I had some quality time with my girl, quality time for myself, and to the point where when I was ready to come here and I knew that I was truly done with playing for now because we had to record, I was like, I thought back at what, and surprise everyone, I'm like the biggest romantic, like I'm like the biggest mush. So what we did was we sat on a bridge, right? And on the roots of a tree. We were doing a little grounding. We're hippies, right? So we're sitting on the roots.
Did you take your shoes off?
Put
your feet in the grass? Did you touch the grass?
We were sitting in moss. We were sitting on the roots of a tree on the bank of a stream.
Okay.
And we were hanging out, picking up stones, kerplunking them into the water, shooting the shit. It was lovely. And I was like, when I was all said and done, I go, if I had chose to go to Red Bank to do a couple raids, I would not have experienced this amazing thing. I would not have created this memory with someone. It was incredibly vindicating of my efforts of trying to improve the balance of my life between the game, the content, and the people I care about. And I was like, it was so worth it to me that I felt like I was going to, at first I was like, oh, I'm going to miss out, the FOMO effect. I was like, oh, this is terrible. I didn't get the shiny. What am I going to do? And then when I reasoned with myself, I go, well, what really would be more important? Doing 5 free raids with the group or having the memories that I just created?
What about the memories with that group?
I'm with them all the time.
Okay.
How many times have I been sitting on a moss-covered root system of a tree on the side of a stream, you know,
I mean, I can count on one
blowing
hand.
dandelions, making cute wishes with my partner.
That's cute.
It was fucking epic. It was awesome. So I'm really trying to work on my balance. And I think that there's ways, and I think we can all benefit from figuring out how to have a healthier relationship with this game. Adam, it sounds like you're already there. It sounds like you're identifying those moments. You're able to pull back and not have it impact your life outside of the game, right?
Yes. Yep.
I'm working on it, and I'm proactively making those steps, and I'm slowly starting to reap the reward, right? Like when you quit something or you need to change part of your lifestyle, your behavior, your dynamic. At first, it's hard because all you're really feeling is the compulsion to want to do it, the addictive nature. You haven't
that's literally like my favorite. I think it's my favorite part of going out and like playing the hockey that I do. It's like I'm excited to get there. So it's like I might have the phone up, might be spinning stops, but like the second that I get there, it's like phone's in the bag, don't care. Hour and 20 minutes later, I am like exhausted physically, mentally. I just want to put on some music and drive home, get home, shut everything down, go to bed. It is the most relaxing night for me.
I think realizing that, here's like the R.I.P. Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer just came to my head because
Oh no,
he would do the closing thought. What was it called? Like at the end of the show.
I don't
Here's
know.
the takeaway here. The real moral of the story that we could all benefit from. The game will be here.
Yes.
The game is not going anywhere. Whether you turn it on at 6 a.m. today or 11:50 tonight or 6 a.m. tomorrow, the game will be there.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunities to make memories, the opportunities to support the people around you, the opportunities to take in the world around you, we lose them every day.
And I'm not saying you can't have your Go Plus or the Pokeball Plus. I'm not saying you can't be like playing the game while doing those things.
Go Plus is a game changer.
It is. I can't wait for Sleep to come out to get that.
I know,
the
dude.
peripheral.
I know. It's going to be a game changer for me because my Go Plus does not stay charged, so I can't use it anymore. And my original Go Plus doesn't connect. And it's not that I don't want to play the game, and it's not that I don't play the game. I'm just teaching myself balance because I want to put efforts into things outside of the game that call for them. And that's been a challenge for me. And that's a challenge for everybody because we want to have the game out 24/7. Like when we go to GoFest in New York City, we're all going to be right. Because there's a time and place. And if I'm hanging out with Jamal, he's not going to be like, Ken, I'd really like your attention right now. Can you turn off Pokemon Go? He ain't going to do that. You know what I mean?
He'd be like, could you help me nominate stops right now? Like, I'd appreciate that.
If you're going to have the game open, add some fucking stops, dude.
Meanwhile, Justin would be like, Adam, can we just play a game of Pokemon, the card game right now? Like, why are we playing Go? Because we're walking in the middle of New York City.
But anyway, the moral of the story, I think let's just all try to work on balance this week. You know what I mean? It might help you with your online behaviors about the way you talk about this game, about the way you promote this game or have love or despise this game. But
facts.
Maybe the people around you might see a positive benefit to your paradigm shift because I'm seeing that. And like, I'm fucking walking through the Arboretum with my girl. I'm holding her hand. The fucking birds are chirping. It's beautiful.
It's okay. So that's like a legit thing. It's when you can stop and you can see things and realize them. And when when the game was kind of like at its lowest, like, and I said that moment when I stepped away, I started like seeing things when I was driving. I like, not that I'm like staring at my phone while driving. I'm not that insane, but it's like I'm driving to work and I see a lone coyote just chilling out on the side of the road. I'm like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's just chilling out, sitting there. And I'm like, I've never seen that. I've never seen a coyote out in the wild. Never. Let alone just standing there. And I was just like, whoa, I was like, if I was distracted right now, I would not have seen that. Same thing. And it's like, then you go to work and I'm like outside and I'm like smelling flowers, like, cause they're blooming right now. I'm just like,
here's another. So in that moment, I look at my girl, right? She's looking beautiful. The sun's coming through the trees.
The wind's blowing gently.
Hair. It was fucking picturesque. And I look at her and I go, this is better than Pokemon. And she goes, yeah, it is. In that way that she was so happy that I decided to go with her rather than go out. And it made my day knowing that for her, I made the right decision. And it was so fucking worth it to not play the game for 30 minutes rating. This was a memory that I'll have forever. You know what I mean? It was awesome.
Well, yeah, it's on a podcast now. So
yeah,
you can listen to it anytime.
Memorialized. But while we're sitting there on the routes, she looks at me and she goes, yeah, something happened to me the other day. I go, what? She goes, I was just driving and like, I saw a tree that was really pretty. And she was with her girlfriend. She goes, and she turned to her and said like, wow, look at this. Look how beautiful that tree is. She goes, that's not something I would say. She goes, but her mindset of being in this romantic, love, all this stuff. She was having those kind of these aha moments of like, oh my God, I'm really starting to
see the beauty.
Yeah, man. And I was like, I had that moment when I'm walking by the trees and I'm like, holy shit. I'm so glad that I did this. So everybody who's listening, take a moment for the people that you love. If you don't have anyone, take a moment for yourself. Devote some time to yourself.
Mother's Day's coming up. Call your mom.
Oh, it's the
Tell you
perfect
love her.
reason. Yes. I assure you they'll appreciate it, and see what it does for your psyche, because I feel so incredibly fulfilled today. And it's like, it's only 2:30 in the afternoon. I feel so fulfilled because I just made good decisions and I feel so positive about myself. And it's like, you know what? I can fucking go play Pokemon right now. The game's still there and I can still have fun with it.
Yeah, we can have finished the podcast and then go play.
That's it. So I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I hope everyone makes some positive decisions this week. Don't believe the hype online with Niantic financials. Look, we don't know. We'll never know. We don't see the numbers themselves. Niantic coming out and saying stuff in the press that the numbers weren't true. I believe that more than just a random thing. They're not going to go out there and lie. Will they spin it? Yeah, it's PR, man. Get over it. That's of course they're gonna spin it. Like we're in entertainment, right? Like this. Like people think that like if they don't understand that the realm that we're in, no, man, this is all entertainment. This is all games. Everything is going to be spun. So, but on that note, Adam, I think that's a good place to end the show. We did go a little bit longer, but you got anything else? Is that good?
No, that was definitely worth it though.
I hope you have a great day. I hope you're able to spend some time outside and with the people that you love today. I think that's
I did that this morning.
Freaking amazing.
Did that
awesome. So did I. I want to do more of it. So take the time for your loved ones, people. The game will be there. Thanks so much for listening. Check out PokemonProfessor.com for everything we have going on with the network. LuredUp.com for everything going on at the show. You can email us, LuredUp@PokemonProfessor.com, or leave us a voicemail, 732-835-8639. We'll see everybody next week for our normal stream. We'll be on Wednesday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be streaming live right after Special Conditions. Adam will be live with Justin for Special Conditions at 9:30 p.m. or 9 p.m. 9:30.
It's typically like 9:15, 9:30.
Yeah. Be ready around 9 o'clock on Wednesday for a doubleheader of Special Conditions, followed by Lured Up. And yeah, thanks so much. Keep training, trainers. Bye. Do something good today. Have a good one, everybody. Good night.